with solid minds, no tales of the strange. In Sasquatch Secrets, they'll begin to rearrange. Truth's the vibe, we're on a quest. Look beyond the trees, what do you see? Factual stories redefining history. No myths, no magic, let's break the mold. With every word spoken, the wonders unfold. Footprints in the snow, not just a myth. Data and research will sift through the depth. Tales of a creature, but science leads the way. Nikki's quest for knowledge, come join and stay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sasquatch Secrets. I'm your host, Nikki Colon. So glad you guys could be here today on this Sunday. Kind of feels like a Saturday to me because I had to work Saturday. So this is like my weekend is Sunday, Monday. But it's so good to see you guys. Looks like we've got a few people joining us here, dropping in. Who was the first in the house? I think it was Grasshopper. I think he had to say eh. So glad you're out there. He's probably having a smoke right now before the show. Gotta stop that. Anyway, Sharon, good to see you. Cold over there, huh? So, first off, can you guys hear me okay? Because, of course, the computer did a complete update and I had to reset everything again. So just give me a quick thumbs up to let me know if you can hear me. Okay, because everything seems okay. Thank you, Sandra. Because everything seems like it was working on this end, but you never knew. Loud and clear. Thank you, Henry. But yeah, it's got that cold front going through. All of Texas is cold. And we're cold on the little tip there of El Paso, but not too bad. Not too bad. It's still in the 60s over here, so not too bad. I thought about having a little barbecue out there, actually. But no, I just kicked my feet up today and worked a little bit on the show stuff. But other than that, I just wanted to, rest. Oh my God. You would think I started working in October that I would be used to it by now, but it's like a recuperation. Every time I have a day off, I don't want to do nothing. So, there's Jen. She just popped in. Hi, Jen. Let's see. Aims his ear horn at the speakers. Yeah. Good to see Henry in the house. And with his HBM's Cryptid Corner. Go check that out if you haven't. Oh, there's Deb. Mrs. Trackway. Good to see you. Good to see you. Sandra, of course. And who else do we got hiding out there? Oh, Brian and Chewy. Good to see you, Brian. I haven't seen anything. Did you do a video this week? I don't think so. I don't know. I love to see those though. It's so beautiful over there where you hike at. So yeah, we're in good weather over here right now. It gets a little overcast and then it clears up, but not too bad. Not too bad over here. Trackway is rattling around here somewhere. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's listening. I know Jonathan's at work or doing whatever he's doing, but he told me he was going to be listening in today. I'd asked him if he wanted to jump on, but he's busy. It's okay. It's okay. Seriously. We'll get it done. There's Relic Hominoid just dropping in. Good to see you too. And so today's topic, brainstorming Bigfoot. So my idea was the whole purpose of the episode was kind of to crowdsource ideas and to explore fresh topics for future discussions. Because I know I do the same thing, you know, I'll pick a topic and then I'll kind of mess with it and come up with new ideas. But of course, after doing this for several years, you know, I don't want to seem like, and I know Grasshopper will say it's the same shit, different day. I get that, you know, but that's what we got to work with, right? But we, that was the purpose, to run some ideas about you on what you would like to see more of. And Brian says new video this weekend, Winter Wonderland mountain cabin overnight. Ooh, I love going and staying in cabins up in the area I'm at when I go up there. And matter of fact, my husband just asked me for a wedding anniversary because he's coming home to choose what I want to do, get a cabin up there, or if I want to take a trip to Vegas, maybe, I don't know. I'm like, no, I've been saving money. We can't do that. I'll spend too much money. So, but I love to do that. I just, you know, to kind of disconnect. But then when I'm out there in the woods, all I want to do is film and walk around and stuff. So we'll see about that. But we'll look forward to that, Brian, your newest upload. And Cowboy, Squatching Cowboy. There's Joe. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. You know, everybody loves you over here. And so that's the reason for the show. You know, more crowdsourcing and talking about some of this stuff. But I do have something else I want to talk to you about that just happened a little while ago. And that is the lazy cowboy. I don't know if he's out there in the chat yet or if he's listening in, but he just dropped his newest video, Bigfoot recreating Bluff Creek Part 2. We talked about when he did Part 1, right? But he just dropped his, it's like 26-minute long video, his recreation of Bluff Creek. Oh my God, I was blown away. It is amazing. Let me, I'm going to change this around a little bit, maybe like this. What did I want to do? This. You can go to Lazy Cowboy, be sure to subscribe, and you have to watch this video. He's complete artist doing this stuff, and I know that this stuff takes a lot of time to do, so it's really a labor of love when you do something like that. And Shattering Delusions, thank you. Why are new? Thank you for the $5. Should we give him a? Hold on, I'm not on the right thing here. Here you go. Whoa! Thank you very much for that. So the question is, why are New Age worshipers and alien researchers always in agreement that Sasquatch is peaceful being that can offer wisdom? That is a great question. I'm going to have to save this one and I mean, we can talk about it right now, but people like to make themselves feel better about things, and by it's a way for them to cope. You know, it's like a mechanism to whoa, the chat jumped. Deal with what they don't know, the unknown, right? So I have a feeling that's the big reason, is that it makes them feel better about what they can't explain, because it hasn't been brought to science. We're trying. We've got a lot of footprints. We've got a lot of, I don't want to say DNA, because I don't feel that we have anything conclusive. There are some people out there who say that, yeah, we got this thing. It came up with orangutan. We're in the Pacific Northwest. How can that be? There's questions out there. And I know a lot of this stuff is based off of reality TV, if you believe in some of that stuff, but it's highly, highly entertainment value, that stuff. So you never really know what has been messed with, because it's entertainment and you need an audience and you need to satisfy that audience. So, you gotta put in the punches, right? You have to have something. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, something. You gotta have that suspense to make any sense. And that would be my reasoning why people want to believe that the aliens, every time an alien ship shows up, a Bigfoot sighting. There's a Bigfoot sighting. Well, why can't they be different things? Bigfoot's in the woods. If an alien ship is going by, it's going over one doesn't have to be associated with the other. But that's how people explain it. That's what in my opinion, is happening. People who can't explain something try to explain it in their heads. There's also a lot that deal with people who believe in the fringe, right? They believe in the portals, in the what's his name's Sierra Sound guy. He in a whole different realm of science and trying to make something out of nothing. And let me see. Where's that February 2nd groundhog? I'd like a word with him. I hear you. I told you. Thank you, Jen, for dropping Lazy Cowboys video. Appreciate that. And I kind of hope that you get what I was talking about in regards to why I think. It's all speculation. Whatever I say can be refuted by anybody. It's all about opinions at this point. We don't know. Well, we're starting to realize that, yes, there really are UFOs, right? There's been a lot of government drop information stuff about that, and stuff is happening. So is Bigfoot on the rise? Is some more information going to get dropped about that? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's of importance, to the government. Seriously, I don't think so. And you're right. How do we know that Sasquatch is peaceful? Everybody said, because there's very little encounter stories where they were completely went off the rails. I mean, you have the older stories of being, picked up in their sleeping bag and carried off, but he wasn't really injured. He wasn't torn apart. I remember an encounter story where the guy had his arm out the window, and I guess his arm got ripped off. And that was said to be part of a Sasquatch brutal event. But for the most part, most of the encounter stories out there all end kind of the same, that it just picks up and it walks off. And if it's running, it keeps on running. You know, there's not really a whole lot of stories of the creature just coming at you. Now you have your Ape Canyon story, okay, where the whole troop of Bigfoot are throwing rocks and terrorizing those miners, okay? But that was an old story. Um, I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, guys. For the most part, you don't hear anything recent, let's say in the last 10 years, of complete and total harassment. And I think any creature is going to have a rogue creature. We as human beings, and when I say that, because there are people who think Bigfoot is a human being, um, Homo sapiens sapiens, okay, us, that, we have bad people. So it makes sense that they would have a bad, apple in the bunch. Old ager. Okay, let's see. Next, I let the chats, I stopped the chat and now I'm behind. What, grass is on a roll? What did he say? Not entertaining. Grass is correct again. Grass is on a roll. I just bump into stuff like Buster Keaton. Are you that old, Grass? Oh, we are talking Buster Buck Rogers. That's funny, Bill. That's funny. Squatch are still animals out there. Humans are food. Okay. Humans are food. Relic says King Kong could learn a thing or two from Sasquatch. Oh, there's Lazy Cowboy now. Good evening. We're just talking about your new video drop today and how amazing it was, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I want to watch it again, actually. But everybody be sure and check it out. That would be Lazy Cowboy there. And the Bigfoot Recreating Bluff Creek Part 2. Really good job. Let's see. We've got, the miners said they were pointed to the mine by a giant female spirit in white. They did? Did I miss that? And then said one was brought into a sky dimension with First Nations people smoking a pipe. I think I missed that. So if we take their account at face value, we can't discount other aspects of their story. It just depends if you believe in the fringe. I said, like I said before, if you believe that these creatures can portal into other dimensions, that they are able to do that, then the possibilities are endless. If they can do that now, then anything's possible. But you have to believe in that stuff. A lot of us that are more science-based need to have more than just that. Why? Because that's just the way we're built. A lot of us are built with believing in what we see. So I would have to see it to believe it. And I don't take people's word, their word for things when it comes to stuff like that. I don't dox them for that, or give them a hard time for that, because I could care less how you believe in Bigfoot. To me, it's just all one big uh one big investigation, right? One big group group party. We're just everybody's gonna have their own take on it, and it just depends on how you want to let it get you all upset. And but the one thing where I take my stance from is that I want the truth. I don't like it when people fake miss well, how do I say this? We need the truth, right? We want the truth. We don't want fake or false information out there. And the hoaxers and the people who are lying, and we can prove those lies, well, then I feel like we should be able to say that. We should be able to say, you're not telling the truth, and this is why. Dealing with the millions of views. That's funny. Uh, I worked on the Zapruder film. I never felt drawn to the Patterson film to see what's what. Grasshopper, have you seen Lazy Cowboy's new video yet? Uh, tu- tu- tu. Let me see. Reading, catching up. I think you're right. If these creatures can do that, then objectively, again, if they can, then the possibilities are numerous, right? And you know what? It's all on your take. You want to have fun with this subject, or you don't want to have fun. And sometimes I've let myself not have fun, and I've come really close to hanging it up and saying, "This is not worth that." It's not. I'm not having fun anymore. And then I have to step back and say, you know what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows any facts. We're speculating. We're having a good time with it. And the people who do think they have the facts, that's fine. They can say or do whatever they want, and they can have believers or people who are following them, because that is their path. I'm on my path. We're all on our own path to discovery. And it does come down to that if you want your own answers, you got to be out there looking for them. And I can't be out there all the time. I try as much as I can. I go to sites where they are known to be at, but not enough, you know? So you've got a lot of individuals who are boots on the ground out there every time, every chance they get. And we still have very little information. We're working with very little information. Repeatable. Let me rephrase that. Repeatable. Um, it, evidence. Repeatable. That's what has proof to it. Is that whatever you do, go out and do or find, that you should be able to do it again and again and again, and that's science. You aren't going to get much truth these days because Bigfoot is easily monetized these days. Yeah, it is. It is easily, and I don't get mad at people for trying to make a buck at Bigfoot, because it's not that much. And these days people got to make money however you can. I wish I could have made this go that direction, but I just don't have the content. I don't have the time. I probably could, but if you have to have the drive, the will, the time to sit and edit and do all that stuff, and that just is not. That wasn't going to happen. I can do, I can do my shows. I can do these type of talking, and I can go out 3 times a year doing big events and bring them to you guys and share that with you. Maybe more. Let's see. You aren't going to get much truth. Oh, I already said that. Yeah, the hoaxes get really bad, and we go through series, right? We go through this whole where every year the same old hoaxes get replayed because somebody else out there for the clicks and views will take that information, they'll slap on a new description and a new time frame. Oh, last week my friend went out and recorded this, but it's one of the old videos, one of the old Sonny Vader videos, one of the old Mark Anders videos, and there's a whole list that we know who are guilty of doing these videos. So it's no surprise, but every year we got to tell these people, no, that's not what that is. That's a known hoaxer that we need to, if the more of us that say that or know or have this information, the better we are in the long run. And those posts like on Facebook that are repeated every year, it seems like every year they post the same crap over and over. Then that stuff starts to kind of get controlled and it won't ever just disappear. But maybe we can have a little bit more understanding, because I've been seeing more people saying, nope, that's not what this is. And I'm like, yes, because every week I'll go through all the Facebook groups and I will correct people and tell them this is what this is where it came from, the much as I can, and sometimes I get frustrated with it and I just block them, long time. Good evening. Oh, there's Robert. Robert Denduven just showed up. Or has he been here? I'm a little behind on the chat again. It's a bigger leap that they are supernatural or what have you. It's more objectively that they are ape-like natural beings. You're right. Busan Kevin is in Japan doing amazing work. There's an interest in the Afghan Bigfoot. Really? The last researcher there in the 20th century died mysteriously. I had not heard that. I enjoyed experimenting with tech. Yeah. Tech has come a long way. You have to know how to use your tech, because I'm at fault for that. I'll buy stuff and then I don't learn about how to use it. Let's see, because Squatchin. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad I could put this out here for you guys to go check out Lazy Cowboy's channel, and definitely his newest, greatest video, Bigfoot Recreating Bluff Creek Part 2, because it was amazing. Now, getting into some of the, there we go. Meat of the program. So my idea was for this brainstorming kind of show, so that I could get a little bit of your input, of you in the chat, your input about what we should talk about coming up, new things. If you had different take or different ideas about some of the stuff we talk about, and these are just a few of the stuff we've tackled, right? So we have basic Bigfoot basics, and we have a lot of theories that come into play. And one of those is, do you think that what is the most convincing theory about Bigfoot's existence? We have two sides. We've always had the two sides. We call one the woo and then one the flesh and blood, which is part of that. And is there another? Is there another that I'm not thinking about? Because that came into my mind, because there's always something else, right? There's some people have different ideas about what this creature is and where it came from, and we've done shows about evolution and where it could possibly fit in the rung of life or the tree of life. Where does it fit? And again, it's all speculation because we just don't know. So, Shattering Delusions says Sasquatch is a dependent of the Nephilim. The Nephilim is a large umbrella. That is one part. I beg to differ that there's any proof that the Nephilim were what the Bible said. The wording to me doesn't transcribe to the creature for me. It just doesn't make sense to me how one could lead to the other down evolution's track. Oh, right. That could possibly be another one. Relic Hominin says that recently Brian King Sharp had the idea that maybe Bigfoot is a feral human. And actually, I've had a show about that. Last year, I did a show called Misidentification. And my idea behind that was, are people misidentifying a Bigfoot as a bear, a feral human, there were 4 things I did that on, and I just saw it too. I had 4 choices for you to decide, what was going on. So that is, a valid thing. Could be. I don't know how many feral humans are out there or where, but you've heard about people picking up and leaving and going out and getting away from society and surviving. You have individuals in the Pacific Northwest who have done it, people in Kentucky, the bayous who can survive off the land. So I think it's a little far-fetched in my idea that the feral humans could be what all these sightings are. It could be 1 or 2 or a few are that. Could be that. It makes sense that could definitely be a possibility. And remember, it's a fear factor too. Some people who are too afraid, to check or to follow up on what did I just see, or, what's going on, your mind can play tricks on you. And, a feral human becomes a Bigfoot. Let's see. Right. Sharon says, if you read the description of the Nephilim, they are nothing like Sasquatch. Plus, it clearly says they did not survive the flood. Yeah, the way the wording is, I don't know if I have it in one of my books here. One of my books. Let me move my notebook here. And see, I know I had some literature that I had saved in regards to that topic. Man, I'm running out of room over here. I don't know where to put all my stuff. Okay, let me see. Where did I put the Nephilim stuff? Ooh, did I just text somebody? Let's see. I don't know. It's probably too much for me to look for right now. But definitely, I've never done a full Nephilim show. Maybe that is, part of this brainstorming, that we have a full discussion about the Nephilim and why I think they aren't or are, what those paths lead. Does that interest anybody? Because then we get into religion and stuff like that. But that's what this is about, right? Brainstorming for a future show. My dog doing? Getting into stuff. That's true too, Jen. If a regular person moved out into the woods and went totally off grid for ages, it still wouldn't make them 6.5, 7 feet tall. It wouldn't make them even taller, Jen. It wouldn't make them 9 or 10 feet tall. Yeah, they would be dirty, hairy, beings. But it describes, this is too shattering, describes these beings as like us, okay? Regular humans. They're not described as giant hairy hominins. They're described as people. Which makes me wish I had those notes right here handy, but I know they're here somewhere. I have too much information. So, too much for me to learn offhand. That's why I have to keep this notebook, because I'm old. I don't know. I thought it was right here. Oops. Dang it, it jumped again. Disagree on heights. Look at the Dutch and how quickly their height has increased in recent years. Let's keep the scientific and not speculative. Let's keep this scientific and not speculative. I'm writing that one down. I can't write sideways though. My notebook is sideways. Right, I agree. That's why I need all the information in front of me. we keep it scientific because we just don't know. We need, oh, here's some stuff. So I don't even want to get into all this right now that I found it and I'm reading what I had here. Because that could be a whole show. We could discuss that. Oh, Mike Patterson has come into discussion about having a show about him, but believe it or not, I was actually going to have him on a show, but he wanted rights to the video and all this stuff. So we didn't go there, but he has followers who are ruthless, just so you know. If I had a show on Mike Patterson, it would have to be on my other channel, Dark Secrets channel. That way, because his followers will definitely, I'm a small channel in comparison because he has thousands of subscribers and they would probably bury me. I've been warned about doing a show about him for a long time. And Brent and I, and many of us have wanted to address some of the stuff going on there. And so that is a possibility now that I have the other channel. I never had my other channel until recently. So now that I have a place that I can go and not be worried about demonetizing and getting a strike on my good channel, it's definitely a possibility that we can go over there and have a show and talk about whatever we want because none of that will be hurt. They mass they mass flag your channel. And we've been through that. Brent has been through that. Um yeah, and it's you don't want that to happen. Um we seen it. We seen where another channel put out a hit on me and Brent and with mass flagging and having people unsubscribe to us for stupid shit, Definitely, Relic. I got it. Yeah. Well, that's why I did the show because it's a possibility, you know? It's a possibility. A tech show would be great. I have a Garmin GPS watch that I'm learning to use. The only tech show I've ever done, real tech show, was the game trail camera show. Just to show all the different kinds of trail cameras that are out there and stuff. Oh, wait, I did have a tech show. The one where I had all the different tech stuff around me. So I did do that one before. It just all comes down to what you can afford and what you want to use. But these days, a lot of people are saying that less tech gets you more evidence because Bigfoot knows your trail cameras are there. Bigfoot can see it, smell it, hear it, whatever. And tech is bad. And a lot of people are now saying you need to go back to the older cameras or the older type equipment and try to. But it is just luck. But so far, a lot of the stuff that's captured on trail cameras is all suspicious, right? We're like, we don't believe it. I mean, it takes a video these days. The photos are almost useless from, nowadays. You need a moving object to even consider it these days. How do we know? All we know is that we're not capturing them on video on trail cameras. Therefore, people immediately tag it with, well, because they know it's there. Right? We don't know. All we need is a body. That's the big thing. Osman was kidnapped. Yeah, and I was gonna, I kind of mentioned Albert Osman. Well, I mentioned somebody being carried away in a sleeping bag. And if Sasquatch needs to mix blood, then it makes sense. What? I missed the first part of whatever you were saying there. Humans as a controlled tribe. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I agree with you, Grass. Gorillas aren't human. Chimps aren't human. Sasquatch aren't human. I go that way too. You know that. They're their own little limb off the tree, okay? And somewhere 3 million years ago, I'm saying about 3 million years ago, I believe they had their split, okay? Possibly, I don't think the Gigantopithecus way. I think that's primarily orangutan that way. But then you have shows like Expedition Bigfoot who are saying, oh, we found orangutan out there and DNA, that muddy the waters. Do they muddy the water? Do you think that media like that muddies the waters with that type of evidence? Where am I at? Yeah, exactly, Brian. Oh, that's cool. Todd's going to do a breakdown of Osman. That'll be good to watch. Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good show. That's a good brainstorming right there, Sandwich. Who do you tell? I mean, we've talked about it before on several of my shows, but I've never dedicated a show to that. Who do you tell? Right? Who do you trust? And it would be different circumstances, right? If you had a body, who would you tell? If you had chain of custody DNA, meaning you had video of the Bigfoot and you had everything, the video of the Bigfoot, it walking through the tree, you walked up to the tree, you found the hair or the sample or whatever, and you had all that, all the chain, okay? stuff like that, right? But if you had the body, which would be the number one thing, if you're by yourself, you ain't moving that thing. So what are you doing? What would you do? Most say head, hand, foot, and get the hell out, because if there's one, there's probably more. Who do you tell? Who do you trust? Their own creation. Yeah, we have millions of creatures on this planet. It they can exist, you know. They have the right ecology. We have the right place for them to hide. Water, food, shelter is a big question mark. We don't know. I don't think they make nests and do a little nest thing like, I think they want to say like gorillas can make a quick bedding for themselves when they bed down at night. But every day, gorillas will go and make a new nest for the next night because they travel, right? They go to their different feeding areas. If Bigfoot did that, wouldn't we be seeing those nests all over the damn place? No, we don't. I don't think we do. Um, they're squatches. Let me see. Dutch male increases by 8 inches. Wow. Wow. 8 inches. That's a lot. Sorry, just reading. Um, mm, yeah, Brian, for sure. It's all regurgitated. That's a good word. Good word for that. Um, and so several of us try to combat that, by continually putting out information about this stuff. But people want to believe so bad that they will fight you on it. Well, how do you know? Because I've done the homework. Many of us have done the homework. Not just me, but I'm willing to say, no, Steve Coles found this guy. His name was this guy I'm thinking out. Richard Lewis Boswell. He played Josh Highcliffe in The Beasts of the Bayou. One season was made. That video is not real. That was just a promo video of a Bigfoot in the swamp, in the Mississippi swamp. We have the names. There's even text message confirming, yes, that was for the promo. He's got all the proof. And many people have that proof out there, and it's just about spreading the word on stuff like that. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That is something I'd never heard of before. And it's pretty much a scare tactic for children, right? Da-da-da. If Proof was there. Symbol in the sky. Trackman. Okay. So anyway, that was a good little stint there about the Bigfoot basics and theories. You know, do we believe that Bigfoot is flesh and blood, paranormal, interdimensional, or something else? Those are the things that we always talk about. And you know, this Nephilim thing would definitely, I don't know, I don't want to drive people away because we're talking about something biblical, you know. So if it doesn't do that, I skipped your yeah, I did skip your paragraph up here. No, the common animal one, right? I agreed with it, but I didn't talk about it. Sorry. Um, Dog wants a bone or something. He's hipping and hawing over there. So let's see. Um, what about a show about the best piece of evidence? Have I done a show like that before? Best piece of evidence you've seen or heard? Because most people always fall to the P&G film, right? The Freeman footage. Oh. Oh my God, you better hold on for dear life, Deb. And hope that a squirrel doesn't jump in front. Oh, what do you think about that one? Best piece of evidence seen or heard? Does anybody have a piece of evidence that is not P&G or Freeman related? I'm wondering about that. Studied Middle Eastern text all my life, and the Nephilim stuff about Bigfoot is just crap. Yeah, I think so too. Where can I find a squirrel? Oh man. Okay, this one I just had a show about why haven't we found a body? So I don't know why I put that in here again. Okay, so let's go to the next one, which is encounters. I don't do encounter stories, but is that something you guys would want me to do? To bring on people and talk to them about their encounters? I've really steered the show away from doing that. I have people on and I will get their stories if they have one or whatever. But I don't make my show about that encounter generally. The botched really bad if you track the bones being stolen. Um have I done a show? I don't I know I've mentioned the scalp before, the Tibetan scalp, and showed pictures and but I don't know how, I don't think I went into way in depth about, well, the DNA was that goat, that mountain goat they have there, right? But the bones being stolen, are you talking about the finger or whatever that Jimmy Stewart smuggled? I have done a show, but it was a long time ago about that. Let me write that one down. Ooh, my handwriting's going to be atrocious. Okay. Thermal cam tree, damn it. What? Oh, stay away from thermal camera tree, damn. Yeah, everything has heat, right? And you're going in a car driving and it's just these long, tall heat signatures. You have to be like staying still so you can tell what that shit is. Cause I was in the car with Trackway and Brent, and he gave me his little thermal, and I'm looking out the window with it as he's driving, but he's driving way too fast for me really to identify anything. But good fun. That was good fun though. I was looking for anything that was bulb, round, big something round, because everything was like sticks as I'm driving by. They prove it to be that of an orangutan. What? What, Sharon? The Tibetan scalp? Is that what you're talking about? That was a goat. Mm. Oh, nice. Look at that. Oops. Dang it. I almost lost the whole thing. Thanks. Guess what you get, sandwich? Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. I hit it again. You almost had a double doozy there. Okay, there. I was trying to get back to the chat. Appreciate it. I really do. The hand in Tibet was partly human. Trying to remember. The claw. So maybe we should address that again. Make that a show. Do a whole Tibetan thing with the whole shebang, the whole thing. Okay, that's gonna take a little more work. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So, did anybody answer about witness Bigfoot encounter stories? Do you want me to just stick to what I do and not focus on, because there's a lot of encounter stories out there and a lot of encounter story podcasts. Just don't want to go there. But I had to put it on here as part of the talking points, Yeah. Okay. I get you. Some kind of cover up. You're thinking cover up with the hand and everything. Yeah. Out of all the cases in the researched and came across, most plausible in my opinion is the skunk ape down in Everglades. and such. Some of the encounters I've listened to creep me out. So, Skunk Ape, are you talking about the Mayaka? The Mayaka Bigfoot? Oh my gosh, chat is going fast. Maybe 3 times a year on those encounters. Mixture of human orangutan. Cool. Okay. You would be more objective than most hosts. Nobody ever challenges the stories or asks tough questions. And I agree. They don't. They don't ask enough questions. And they're very quick. See, that's why I don't think I would be popular for doing. I don't want to be rude, okay, to anybody's story. If that was their story, that was their story. And their experience. And I don't want to take away from that, but many times I do have questions about, okay, why did this happen or that happen? Now I have to say that now that I've had a little bit of experience of something weird out there, I get the fear factor. I never had that before. You know, so I get people freezing. I get people change when you're put into circumstances you can't control. And I get that now. And I don't think, and it hadn't happened until that moment, you know, and it makes you a little more cautious and it makes you a little more scared, probably for me. Every now and then. Sandra says, every now and then, yeah, get something good. That seems more like a reasonable thing, you know. Did somebody just text me? Do. Hold on. Oops. Dang it. Wrong button. Jay, oh my goodness, Jay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. What can we send your way? What do we do? Support.
Whoa! Whoa!
Thank you, Mr. J. Appreciate that. Oh, and then right behind him again, delusions. Holy cow. 3 ideas. Land Between the Lakes video. I want to go there. Catholic priest interview on Sasquatch. And go on Prometheus Lens podcast. Prometheus. Okay, I'm going to write these down. Okay, just, I almost dropped my Coke. That would not have been a good thing. Land the LBL video. I don't know if I can't get to LBL this year, but I do want to go. I do want to do that. Now, this Catholic priest, where can I find this encounter, this story, or what you're talking about here? Because I don't, can't even spell. On Sasquatch. And the last one is go on Prometheus podcast lens. I'll check them out, see what they're all about. Thank you very much. And thank you for that support. I appreciate it. Ooh, now it won't come off. Why is that? There it goes. You were stuck on there for a little bit. So one of those memberships, yeah, you just go down to the bottom there and what do you guys do? You hit the join button and it's just 99 cents. I only have one. I used to have 3 different memberships, but it just got to be where I just couldn't keep up with it. So I thought the only fair thing to do was just to have the 99-cent, a month thing, just as a support thing for me to help me keep up StreamYard. Let's see. No Bigfoot in Land of the Lakes. None at all. I don't know. A lot of people would say differently about the Land of the Lakes. Pretty big area. Generally, you have to approach one in earnest seeking the truth. No known encounter I know of with the priest. Interesting. That is interesting. They were all run out by dogmen. Oh, yeah. Dogmen. That's a whole thing. That's a whole thing for me. I wish I cannot get behind the dogman. Hey, there's Kevin Harder. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. I'm sure Kevin would want to do more DNA stuff to deep dive into. Oh, Kevin, yeah, we should do one on the new Meldrum Ketchum stuff. Think about it. I'm gonna write that down. I haven't checked into what her latest findings are. I'm really curious to know about the mermaid DNA and the dogman DNA she has. I'm super curious about what's happened with that. Because she's raised all this money. I mean, watch out for them forest spirits. Ooh, scary. Now, I believe in the paranormal, okay? I just don't put the paranormal with the Bigfoot at the same time. Well, maybe it could happen at the same time, but different things. So that could be a show. That could definitely be a show. That's a good one. I'll check on it, Kevin. I'll let you know if there's anything to report there. I just know she's gotten a lot of money, and I would love to know what she's doing with that money. Your condo's haunted. Got to clear that sucker out. Got to light that candle and open the doors. You know about cleansing your home. Open your window on east side and the window on the west side, and then you cleanse it out. Cryptid DNA thing. See, you even came up with a cool name, Kevin. Did what? I think you're going to be my first witness interview. I kicked my woman out because she invites demons. Oh man, that's funny. Confusing paranormal for Bigfoot. Can see it. Well, more like can't unsee it. You're right. You're right. I could say, I wish I have seen an orb, right? But I think the minute I see an orb, I'm going to regret it. So I don't say that. Because pictures and videos of orbs, I think, are all pretty crappy. You know, there's always possibilities of lens flare and a dirty lens and other stuff. Something like that, you have to see it face to face. That is something I'm adamant about. You have to see it face to face. Haagen-Dazs ice cream. It took me forever to get what you were spelling there, buddy. I don't think it's spelled like that. But I got it. Haagen-Dazs. Strawberry ice cream. Yeah. I've totally eaten like crap today, and I had ordered my kids what's it called? It was a Valentine's bite box, but it was being delivered today. And in this box, about that big, it had little pieces of cream cheesecake, covered chocolate strawberries, churros, little donut churros, and what was on the other corner? Oh, brownies, little piece brownies, and then a strawberry dipping sauce in the middle for Valentine's Day. I got this for them. Oh yeah. Strawberry. The strawberry made me think about what I just ordered. I went off in a weird direction there. Oh, I get it. I get it. What are you saying? Why is it doing that? Jumping around. Naked wolfman spotted by hikers in German mountains. Man, I'm going to look at that up just because I'm curious to the story, but I don't know if I could do a show on that. Maybe some other kind of cryptid show. Naked wolfman in the Alps, you said? Or German mountains? What about people who disappear while hiking? Are you talking about 911? 411? I've never done a show on Pleiades. That's a good one. That is a good one, Sharon. Oh, and I could also tie in the two hikers that just died up there in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon because of the weather, but everybody's saying they were looking for Bigfoot. But I know I corrected myself. 411. I know. I wrote 411. I have never done a show because I always thought it was too much work to do a show on him. Um, okay. Have you, let's see, what else? Eyewitness accounts. I had an idea about what makes a Bigfoot story believable. Me too, sandwich. So he's saying squatching equals going camping. Yep, I'm going camping. I don't sleep much. That overnighter I did, the last overnighter I did, and I stayed in the back of the cab of the truck, was not that comfortable. And it made a lot, every time I moved, it made noise. Um the blow up mattress thing I have for that back cab. It's kind of like it would crunch, every time I moved. So it was kind of uncomfortable, kept me up at night. Um, I did black out all the windows except the big long back one in the back of the cab because it was dark. It's a dark window, so I probably won't be able to see any eyes peeking in at me. So I left that one, but all the side windows and the front windows I had covered. It was really crazy hearing the elk bugling like right there. Christian First Nation people and their views on Sasquatch. Hmm. I do have, matter of fact, I have the contact names right here. The contact information for some individuals up on the reservation here. And that has gone through my mind of doing a sit down with them, like inviting when I go out on a camp out, inviting them to the camp so we could do a fireside chat with them. I have I have a list of 4 individuals actually. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. Um, so that has been on my mind, but during this winter I don't go out at all. So um, it's completely snowed in and iced in up there. So and it's completely hard to get to this area. Hard to get up there in the summer. Couldn't imagine trying to do this road. The road is just a single lane, and my truck is just fits right in the lane. You can't just turn around on this road. You have to go all the way until you find a turnaround. It's that kind of road. And then one side's a drop off because you're on the mountain. One of his boots. Well, you know what they say about people lost out in the woods at a certain point that you start to lose your mind, your faculties, and you get hypothermia and you start taking your clothes off. It's a weird thing that happens. Oh, why is that thing still there? Okay. Um uh, See, nothing wakes you up like going to sleep out there, nowhere in the back seat, staring at you. Yeah, I think about that all the time, Trackway, of somebody peering in through my window, you know, and hearing stories, of encounter stories of where they look up from their window and there's a thing, looking down at them or into them. I do not leave my sunroof open at all. Everything's sealed up. Um, let's see, cougar snatch you up. I think absolutely frightening. Yeah, I'm more afraid of bears, I've found, than cougars or anything else. Even though cougars can stalk you like quietly in the dark. Yeah. When we were out there in British Columbia, and I was there with Trackway and Brent, and I like to be in the middle of the two guys, okay? And I kind of go in the front and in the middle of the front, but I never like to be the end guy. We kind of made Trackway the end guy there for a little while until we heard something in front, and then all of a sudden we put Bill in the front. And I ended up being the end guy. And of course, Brent has to say something about, you know, the cougars or cats, that big cats out there. And I was like, I know, don't have to remind me. Uh, Sex. Yes, you were a sacrificial trackway. And you also stayed far back. I couldn't stay as far back from us as you were. I couldn't do that. Yeah, I had to, because when you guys would take off, I would be like, "Oh, catch up, catch up, catch up," and I would be like going faster just to keep up with you guys. Bigfoot like fat men. They like fat people. Yes, they do. I'm sure they do. It was dark. Well, when you're out in the woods, it's dark everywhere. But I don't know. There was something a little freaky about that trail because one end was a drop off. So you didn't have a way of like running away. This trail was one way in, one way out kind of trail. And there's something disturbing about that because if something came at you, you had no choice but to turn around and go in the other direction because one was the main drop off and the other was the mountain that went straight up and it was super thick, and hard to traverse because it had one of those old forest floors where you sink, in debris when you're walking off the trails. So, a little disturbing. Okay, another show idea coming in from Shattering. Infrasound. Did we do a infrasound? I think we did. But what was it called? Did I call it Bigfoot Speaks? Bigfoot Speaks or something like that? I wonder if I have it on here. Hold on. Let me see. No. Hmm. I thought this is the evolution one. I don't think we talked about that. Nope. we had, oh, I knocked everything off. I think I called it Bigfoot Speaks. But maybe it was more than a year and a half ago. So maybe we can readdress that. Because remember we were talking about I had a chart about bats and elephants and lions and their infrasound and where they fall. I don't remember. %2 is immune. I didn't know that. I have a lot of stuff out. Let's see. Richard Sharpie. Oops, spelled that wrong. Shaver. Building a Bigfoot trap, and I'm using sonic shakes as bait. How many J's will I catch? I started reading that like it was real. Ewoks akin to Bigfoot. Littlefoot? They're little feet. You mean Chewbacca? Wookiees. Wookiees were the first Bigfoot. Yeah, you're welcome to go through my playlist of Sunday shows. Sunday shows are my live shows. A lot of the videos you'll find of my adventures to Mount St. Helens, to British Columbia, Sasquatch Provincial Park, couple up in my area up in the mountains, the Sacramento Mountains in New Mexico. You are welcome to take a look and pick some of those out. The most popular ones, of course, are the ones talking about the P&G film, the massacre theory. What else did we talk about? That was a really big show. What's the one from Texas that I did? Can't remember his name. Anyway, go check it out. Kevin Harder and I did a DNA one called The Pathway. What was it called? The Pathway to Blood? The Pathway to DNA or something? Yep. The three of us on Sundays. And then Steve calls after this. What time is it? Oh, dang. It's already 6:30. Why does that keep... Dragon Man? I did a show with the skulls with was it the evolution one I just had up with Bumblebee came on. So we've talked about a lot, but okay, we had a recent one about does Bigfoot migrate, hibernate? Does Bigfoot interact with other animals? Would Bigfoot build structures, caves, nests, and then there's a whole technology, scientific technological approaches, which would be what do we have to help us find Bigfoot? Drones, thermal cameras, AI. So that would be a whole techie show type of deal. Is DNA evidence the key to proving Bigfoot existence? Yeah, it has to be in this. It has to be unless we have a body, right? Would a live capture be ethical or even possible? I don't know. Those are some good questions, right? Let's see. How can citizen scientists contribute to Bigfoot research? I think we've kind of talked about that before. I didn't quite name it like that. Mm, the Dragon Man. You guys are talking about. I don't know if I have it. If I had that one. Huh. Mm, we did the whole Gateway one too. That's a good one. Okay, so this is the one. I don't know if I had that one. Dragon Man. I think it's one of those. Uh, um, what else did they call it? What'd you call the Homo longi? Lucy. Okay, we talked about Lucy. Hmm. Maybe I didn't. I did. Orpheus. Twiggy. This is the one I was thinking you guys were talking about. That they nicknamed Twiggy, which was Homo habilis. Yep, that was it. See ya, Joe. Thanks for stopping by, chatting with us. I'll be going out next week to investigate a Class A sighting in Southeast Texas. Ooh, interesting. We'll be looking forward to it. Take care. Okay, so now the next one was paranormal and fringe theories, which we kind of touched on already, but there's questions like there's people have said they have supernatural abilities. What would those abilities be? Cloaking, telepathy, stuff like that. It's interesting. I don't believe in it and I don't see any evidence of that, but it could turn into a show, if we talked about it scientifically. Like, what would it take for an animal to be able to cloak, and what can cloak, and what does have mutation abilities, to have a body that could do that, or what would it take, stuff like that. to go into it that way scientifically, cloaking and telepathy and what is needed for that. I mean, that would be one way for me to address the whole supernatural ability thing, would be to come at it at a scientific way. And then oh my God. Is there any connection between, like what you said, the Bigfoot and UFO sightings? I did have that written down before. Are there ancient myths and legends to support the existence of Bigfoot? Oh, the Nephilim thing. Could Bigfoot be a time traveler or a relic species from the past? I don't know. Oh, whoa. I just changed that way too fast. Kind of speeding it up a little bit here for the end, but the next part would be cultural impact and media. So, which would bring in the whole Expedition Bigfoot stuff. Are they taking it too far? Do they portray Bigfoot in a certain manner to get the entertainment? Is to get the views, right? To have a successful show that can be carried on to the next season and the next season and the next season. People don't realize, that there's 30 people out on set behind the camera that you're not looking at. So how has Bigfoot been portrayed in movies and TV? What's the best and worst documentaries? How about that one? That's one I thought about. The best and worst Bigfoot documentaries. That's interesting. That would mean I'd have to have a bunch of people doing some homework. Woos equal views. You're so right. I got to write that one down. That was a good one. Oh, there's no show for calls tonight? Oh, that's why I was speeding it up, because I didn't want to go into over his thing. Oh, certainly, Sharon. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. Oh, okay. That's why I was trying to speed it up, because I didn't want to go over, Mr. Calls. But anyway, I liked that one. Best and worst Bigfoot documentaries. Do you think pulp culture influences real Bigfoot research? It does, in my opinion, it does for the outside community, not the Bigfoot community, but for people outside the community, the regular people, it influences them, because they immediately will think it's a creation. They either think it's just all fake, it's all fictional, it's all created, a thriller, horror, demonized Bigfoot, which I had a show about. So you can go look at that one too, called Demon Bigfoot. I think I named it Demon Bigfoot. That we go into that. Why do we do that? Why do we make Bigfoot evil or mean and portray him with these big teeth and just evil? Yeah, everybody kind of goes. Well, Coles and I had, we had a lot of communication about the times, because my time was went I remember I changed my times. I think I had 4. If it's at 5, oh, I had from 6. I had 6 to 8 as my original time. And I put it back to 5 to 7 my time because he started right at 7. But it was during a time where he wasn't having a whole lot of shows. Do you remember right when so he was kind of iffy, but then he went right back at it. And I remember there was something like that. We talked about it and I just said, oh, I'll just put my show 1 hour earlier. Let me see. It's the sane corner of Bigfoot universe. What's the sane corner? What? Going over to calls? That's what you're referring to? So, and I had another idea about if there were more shows about Bigfoot. Remember, Bigfoot has to sell when it's on TV because otherwise, if it's not successful, it doesn't have enough views, it's not gonna succeed. It's not gonna go on. So to have a real Bigfoot show, it would have to be kind of like what's his name? Les Stroud going out and having an adventure, and stuff, something like that. It would have to almost be more of a survival show to keep people looking and not expect Bigfoot stuff. I don't know. I think Expedition Bigfoot's okay, but the sensationalism kind of that first even 3 episodes I think I watched, I stopped watching because I don't know. It was just so overproduced, maybe was my idea. Because we all know that we really go out there and do this, and it's not like that. It's pretty boring. It's pretty ordinary. It's just hiking. It's just watching nature, and it's not like that, and of course we pull our little videos together to make it look more interesting, but yes, he does, Grasshopper. You are so right. I don't think anybody has sat down with him and explained or told him about the people he is supporting or thinks are real, you know. Has anybody just sat? I don't. Number one, you have to be in his circle, which is probably very small. But somebody needs to, say, hey, this is all the controversy. I know he knows about controversy with Pod Standing. I know he knows some of that controversy, but does he know it all? I don't know. Does he care? Probably not. Yeah. Subject of Bigfoot has to sell really good off air, not on TV. Stroud could have picked up where Robert Morgan left off. Who would watch the 99% of the time when nothing happens? Exactly. That's kind of my point, you know. A regular Bigfoot show won't sell because it's pretty damn boring. You know, if you don't like nature, if you don't like just sitting there and taking in the view of nature and the calmness and getting away from the everyday, you know, life of having to work or do whatever, it's not, you know, some people can't do it. My husband can't do it. He hates camping. He hates it. I don't invite him to go out. He went out with me a couple years ago because he had to, because I hurt my knee and I needed help and I had this whole trip planned. But he hated every minute of it. He could not wait to leave. That was the fastest pack up I've ever had camping because he was on the ball, man. He had that shit backed up in the back of the truck fast. He couldn't wait to get out of there. And you have to, you know, we're just, in that sense, we're two different. But that's okay. You know, he goes and he does his, he has his hobbies. I have my hobbies, and that's that. Because overnights went, all the wonky stuff happens. Stuff you can't explain. The sounds in the night, right? Camping live. Yep. We pretty much do. We call it our shindig. I call it my shindigs, and where we just go and camp out and see what happens and try to have fun at doing it, you know. I fall out of my chair pretty often. Better watch for the choice footage. Uh if if you're talking about Les Stroud, I don't think he would come on my show, only because don't I have a very small following, you know. He would probably go on to, has he been on Untold Radio? I don't know. Well, he did get interviewed by Tate Hieronymus recently, my friend Tate, who was supposed to be here tonight. And if you're out there listening, you dogged on me. Um, it's okay, Tate. I forgive you. Um, so he did get interviewed by Tate. So that's, I guess you're right. I guess you just have to ask, and he probably has to check you out on who you are and what you do. I don't have that big of a name, and I'm not a hardcore researcher or anything like that. You know, I investigate when I'm out there, but I'm not out there a lot. I wish I could be, but let's see. Because I tend to talk about, I would want to talk about why he supported Todd Standing, why he supports whoever, you know, David Polides. He follows David Polides. He does that. And ninja moves. What? I suppose I could. I mean, I had Rick Dyer on, for goodness sakes, and that was a hostile. That was supposed to be a hostile interview. If I could do Rick Dyer, I could do anybody. That's true. Go check that one out. For sure. Shattering Delusions, my Rick Dyer episode 5. I think it was episode 5. As soon as I had my show, I was able to get Rick Dyer, the biggest hoaxer in the Bigfoot community. Come on. He came on twice, but the first one is the best. The first one, episode 5. I don't know if I'd be too nervous to do Les Stroud. No. Grasshopper says I camp in my Jeep. And then Jay says I camp in my lazy boy. Classic. That's a good one. I should screenshot that. Oh, now you tell me. But that's not what you said because I got the audio. What? Oh, he's talking with. He hasn't. Interesting. I would have thought that Doug would have already had him on. No harm in asking. Just no harm in asking. There's nothing else to follow that with. It just has to be something I would set my mind to and my heart, because I would really have to do my homework, Vibration, grass, J. Here's your panic button. Oh, panic button. I have a real panic button on my thing here, but I got a game that you have to hit the button. Bob Gimlin, the 92-year-old Bob Gimlin. I have had the idea of getting Thomas to get Bob to do a show with both of them. And actually, I haven't done a show with Thomas in a while. I need to do another historical Bigfoot show, because those are the ones Thomas likes to be on the most, is when we talk about the historical stuff. So check out my Ruby Creek video. That's another good one. And researchers from way back. I had Todd Prescott and Thomas on that one. Great one. That was another really good one. So yeah, I have ideas, it just, I was more free to do research and because I spent a lot of time getting my shows ready until I started working, of course, so if you're not going to have him on your channel, quit bringing him up. You've been saying this for a couple of years. Who? Bob Gimlin? I've never wanted Bob Gimlin on before. You guys just mentioned it. I've had the idea about having Bob on only because I'm close with Thomas. And Thomas could get me Bob without his handler. Okay? Because remember, he's handled. Because I don't do interview. I don't do that type of, you know. Um, Bob Gimlin. Yeah, because see, there's two Gimlins, two Bob Gimlins. The recent one who's doing videos, and then there's Patty Gimlin. Yeah, he's old, and I never wanted him on because I am not a believer in the P&G film. So having him on would be me telling him things that would go against what he's saying, you know, because he's 100% this happened. And there are things about the P&G film I don't believe. So I don't want to bring him on to dog him because I respect him. So I never wanted to do that before. Oh, is he bedridden now? I did invite him to the British Columbia Sasquatch shindig. He did get an invite to that and declined. Who else did we invite that declined? Oh, Doug. We invited Doug Hychek too, and his son. Um, well, folks, I think we're good. I think we did I got a lot of notes. I think I'm done with my notes over here. Oh, I did have a question about who would you like to see me interview if I were to interview somebody from the Bigfoot community? Who would that be? And I don't know. So we got, well, he just said Bob Gimlin, but I don't think that'll happen. And Les Stroud. That could happen. That's a possibility. And would ask a Bigfoot. Skeptics. Okay, yeah, we went through pretty much all my. Oops. Dang it. Hopefully that saves. It won't leave. Hold on. I've got something. There we go. So, did Sasquatch Wizard decide to show his face? Just kidding. Oh, before we go again, I did have a piece of news that I was looking at, and Sasquatch got interviewed by Rolling Stone. Did you know that? The Bigfoot who blasts on saxophone will save your sanity. He is on tour doing all kinds of events now, and he's got his own gig with a whole show thing. But he was interviewed, and that's good on him, man. You know, in a year's time, he's famous. He's famous. But you can go to saxsquatch.com and find his whole tour. I knew I was going to forget the name of the tour. Shoot, I didn't write it down. It was a cute name. I can't remember. But anyway, he's going to be close to me. He's going to be in Phoenix on one of them, and he's going to be in Dallas on another show, like around April-ish. So that might be interesting to go to. I just thought I'd share that with you because it was interesting that he's come so far. So, whoa, move me around there. Let me take this out and this out. So that's where you can find that. Rick Knoll asked Thomas to email him. Rick Knoll? Oh. Okay. You got it. Does Sasquatch identify as a hominin? Oh, maybe we could get Sasquatch on. Oh, that would be a cool show. Right? He could come on I'm gonna write that one down too. Sasquatch. All right. Rick Knoll and Thomas on the same show. Wait, they get along, right? I don't want to put them like two fighting like what I did with John L. Johnson. When I had John L. Johnson and Thomas on, I didn't realize that they were kind of opposites. But it was good. It ended up being a good show, but still. So, best buds. Okay, good. That's good. Well, that's all I got for tonight, folks. Thank you guys so much for coming and sharing the night with me for a little. I know Steve's not on, but I did my due diligence and I'm going to go find some dinner. And yeah, that's it. I don't work tomorrow, but I got to go check out my car. My car's been in the shop for like 2 weeks. Transmission. I had to buy a new transmission. Now you know why I've been working so hard. Of course, it goes out like a month after the warranty expired. So anyway, I will talk to you all later. Thank you again for being here. I need to get onto the right place here. Thank you guys for all the support, and I completely appreciate it. So good night, Grasshopper, and good night, Kevin and Jen and Sandra. Love your videos, bringing back my memories and some laughs. Keep the chocolate, marshmallows, and graham crackers on hand. You always have to do that for sure. Why it won't let me end the show? Oh, I know why. Figured it out. So good night, you guys, and thanks for coming. Please be sure to hit that like button before you leave. If you like the show, share it. Sharing is caring. I love you guys. See you in the next chat.